Let's do it. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another edition of the Elite Mancast, man. Where we do it every Wednesday at 8:30. So go tell a friend. Y'all go over there to YouTube, like, subscribe, and share there. So we can get this views up, we get this algorithm up over there, man. But man, we got a special edition. We talking to some veterans who've been in the real war, who've done their part and did the service for the country. And that's what we got going on, man. That's what we got going on. Me and Major Payne, we ain't did too much of nothing but some street wars and stuff like
Hey,
that. But we got
yes,
Mr.
sir.
Mike, Mr. Blackwell over here. They done did some service. Yeah,
Mm.
Yeah.
yeah.
In the
But
heat
yeah,
of the
man,
heat.
the heat of the heat, he said. Yeah.
I'm
Blackwell,
talking
we
about.
gonna do this tonight. We gonna let Blackwell start this thing off right, get some stories going. But if you want to know, man, when you first
Well,
got there, what was that experience of first entering into the service? You know, regardless of the war. But just give me a little bit, not too much. Just give me a little bit of first entering into the service.
into service or going into war?
No,
Just
not
going
the
into
war yet.
service. Oh
Yeah, just get
going into service, it was woohoo, because I'm thinking, look at here, I'm finna go get this GI Bill, hey, free college, and honestly, that's what it all was in the beginning. That's how I felt about the whole thing, free college.
Hmm.
Mm.
all right, okay, okay. You was
Nice.
getting to it.
I mean, bottom line, it was free college. That was it.
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
All right.
for me it was a little bit of excitement. Plus, my two fathers, my biological father and my stepfather, both were in the military. So I had a lot of insight.
Right, right. Okay. Okay. What's happening, brother?
Hey, what's going on, bros? How y'all doing, man?
Good, sir.
Well,
Hey, now there go our other man.
yeah, yeah. I'm just asking Blackwell, like when you first went in, like,
Look at here. Hold up 1 second. When I went in, me and Devaka were both at the hotel together. We were both going in at the same time.
Yeah, we were. We were supposed to go together. Yep.
Yes, sir.
They put us. I don't know if they still do that, but you have to stay in the hotel overnight before you ship out. And we were in that. We were in. It was out for 30, wasn't it, Blackwell?
For 35 over there and Commonwealth.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
How are
yeah.
you brothers doing, man? I can't even see.
Hey,
Doing great.
Yep.
I'm trying to get it to where I can see y'all pretty good. So yeah.
Yo,
Mike,
you need
what was
glasses?
No, I'm looking at this phone. I'm which been reading and stuff. So
Gotcha.
yeah, I can
yeah?
see
What
y'all
was you
now.
saying, Keith?
Got in, Mike?
And I was just gonna say,
Huh?
my dad wanted me to go into the military because he was in the army. He dealt with the missiles and everything.
yeah.
And I told him, that was cool, but I was short tempered. So it's like, even like with being a policeman, like tell somebody to freeze, if they keep running, I'm gonna shoot them. So I understand, like, it's a point of discipline and everything. And I really did think about going, like you said, for school, but I ended up having a scholarship in soccer. So, I didn't have to go. My daughter, she was in ROTC in high school, and then she got a scholarship for the National Guard. So now she's a
Hmm.
sergeant, and then she's stationed in Little Rock, Arkansas. I mean, I was proud of her and everything. She called me. She was like, "Hey, Dad, what you doing?" I'm like, "I'm good. What's up?" And she was like cleaning her AR, like just while talking on the phone. I'm like, "How?" But I salute all soldiers, all vets, because happy that y'all made it back too. I mean, I watched a lot of movies, and I know people who, like went and they didn't return, or they returned like with a missing body part or something like that. So
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's more so like a brotherhood. The only brotherhood I know of is my fraternity. So I salute you guys for real.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Hey, bro.
So, Mike, what was it like for you first thing?
What you say now?
And
Oh,
I
you
was
talking
talking.
now,
about?
for me, when I first went in, it was just a lot of excitement. Cause see, I had a football scholarship. I was going to play football for North Carolina State, and I was sitting in the English class one day doing some work. I looked around. I'm like, man, I don't want to do this shit for another 4 years. I went down the hall, got on the phone, called the recruiter, went right after school, took the ASVAB, passed it, told me what I qualified for, which was pretty much everything. And my mom didn't want to sign for me, but since I was 17 when I graduated, and I started active duty 2 weeks after I graduated. So I finally talked her into signing because like I don't want to go to college and being here on the block. I'd either end up in jail or dead, so I'd rather just go in the army. But for me, it was just excitement, man. It was like the army the motto back then was to be all you could be, and for me, that was a challenge, and that's how I took it. When I went in, I was in seventh heaven. No matter what we did, I was having fun. So,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's good. So did they really shave off all y'all hair when y'all enlisted?
Yep.
High and tight, baby.
yep,
High and tight.
See,
yep.
because I had braids at the time, and they was talking about cutting my hair and shipping me off. I told them I had asthma, so they canceled
Mm.
it out real quick. But man,
Mm.
Man, you should have seen the white dudes when they went in. They had us all in line. They say, "How you want it?" Guys talking about how they want the haircut. You sat down and zzz, zzz. People had tears in their eyes watching that hair fall off.
Yeah,
oh
boy.
man,
But I always had mine short anyway, so it wasn't that bad.
Mm.
Be excited to go.
Yeah, I was.
You were.
Uh, and it's pretty much the same reason the brother just spoke of. I just had to get, where you from my hood, Keith, so had to get out these streets, man. And
Yeah.
I joined my 11th grade year as well. And then we were gone. I think I was gone 3 months after we graduated.
Oh,
Yeah,
for
Mm.
what
real?
it was 3 months, right, Blackwell?
Huh?
Yeah, cause I left October, so October
Yeah, it
2nd.
was October.
Yeah. So but yeah, for the same reasons, man, the streets was getting worse and worse, and I was just like I knew I couldn't stay with my mama the rest of my life if she couldn't feed me. And I kind of knew the life I wanted to live.
mm.
So that was
Mhm.
Right.
one of the main reasons I went ahead and then my uncles, like Blackwell, my uncles, they had all went to the military. So
Mm, okay. Yeah, man.
yeah.
Yeah, now y'all know me. I was on something else. I wasn't trying to hear.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Now you went to the military though. You went to the military. You got some basic training there. Some street
So, but
military basic training. Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
how long was
Hey, so
y'all
what
in there
year did
before?
you guys go?
89.
Yep.
Y'all
89.
went in '89?
Yeah.
89.
Man, I went
Yes,
in
sir.
80. 1980, I was there.
You went in 1980.
Man,
Yeah.
That's when I
I'm
was
putting you
born.
on. My bad. My
Y'all know
bad.
I'm old.
Damn.
Can I pause? I gotta walk out for a minute. Do I just pause it or just
Take your camera off.
how do I do that?
You don't see your camera? But go
At
ahead,
the
D. You
bottom
got
of
There
it.
the
it is.
screen.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
there you go. There you go. Turn your volume up. We don't want to hear you talking either.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
when my
stuff
dad
in the
went, like
background.
he went. My uncle went. Like my dad went with his brothers and some of his best friends.
Hmm.
So my uncle, they was planning on retiring in the military, and that's how I ended up traveling like at such a young age, just going everywhere. And then they wanted to go back, and they was going up some mountain, and my uncle ended up falling off. And it's like my dad was like, "You know what? I'm done." So it's like,
Dang.
yeah,
Yeah, that
Mm.
sucks, man.
but I
So
mean,
let me ask
That's,
y'all, how long y'all in the war? I mean, how long was y'all in the service before the war started?
Well, for me, I went in '89, right?
it was only a few months.
Yeah. The war started in '91.
Hmm.
Well. I was there in '90, actually, December of '90, and spent New Year's Eve. As a matter of fact, that's when we were leaving Saudi Arabia, going into Iraq to start Desert Shield.
Right.
There's a,
Yeah.
okay.
So less than a year, brother, I was fighting the war.
Damn.
Man,
Yeah,
That's
well,
well,
yeah.
crazy.
I graduated AIT in February, and in December of that year, I was in the war.
wow.
Where's, where's AIT?
Advanced individual training.
So that's where you learn your guns and all of that, your
Yeah.
combat.
That's where you learn your job. Yeah,
The specialties, yeah.
yeah.
Whatever
That's
job
where
you
I
go
learned how to
into.
be a trained killer. That's when they taught us that.
Yep,
Oh
that's it.
man.
man,
Yes,
Yeah, man, I
sir.
was
yeah,
in for, wow, I was in almost 10 years before.
Before the
Yeah, because
war started.
I started active duty in 80. Yeah,
Yeah,
so I
Yeah.
had a whole lot of time, peacetime army, before the war started.
yeah,
And then it was so short.
yeah.
Then
a
it was
hundred
so,
hours.
yeah, his strategy was so good.
You say the
Yeah,
war was
Yeah.
short?
we in the Guinness Book
Mhm.
of World Records, man.
Yeah, the shortest war ever.
Yeah, the shortest war in history. And the and the,
Hmm.
the the third largest army beat the second largest army in the world in 100 hours.
Right.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah,
wait a minute, man. Hold it, man.
But
You mean to tell me the war was nothing but 100 hours?
but we were 6 months, 8 months out there.
Oh, get prepared.
Straight up.
waiting for the war to start. I was only there for 2 months.
Wow.
We
Yep.
only spent 2 months in country and then we left. We got replaced by another unit, a sister unit from Massachusetts. It's our 10th Special
And
Forces Group.
okay,
We
yeah,
did
yeah.
our
So
thing
y'all
and we
just
left.
had y'all Pacific duties and then y'all out.
Yeah. And all we did mostly was recon.
Yeah.
Recon and searching for WMD. So we were in and out. That's why I was never in a tent city. We left out of Incirlik Air Force Base, went right up into the mountains in helicopters, and
Yeah.
that's where we based out of.
Yeah. Over there, I was at KKMC. That was that little tent city in Saudi Arabia. Well, one
Hmm.
of them, KKMC. Yeah.
Um, you
Yeah.
does something.
Uh,
Boy, I thought the war was on for about 2 years.
Nah,
No.
nah. We were out there for a long time, but it was just 100 hours. That was it.
so I mean,
You
at
know,
that time, did they allow women in the
they
military?
say it was only
Yeah, they had
only a
women in
hundred
the
hours,
military.
but
Actually,
yeah.
actually,
And then
the
the first month, it was actually a
Uh-uh.
month of war because the first part of the war was all bombing for
yeah,
30
that was
days
Desert
straight.
Shield.
Bombing.
Desert Shield was a lot of that. Yep,
Uh.
yep. That's what we did a lot of that in Desert Shield.
Go ahead. Or you freeze?
Who freezing?
Uh,
Now, Michael.
Did it freeze?
okay,
Nah,
he's back.
Now, Mike, you were just breaking up.
I don't know. Yeah.
But yeah,
Hmm?
what keeps you want to hear? You want to hear a war story about some running
Yeah,
up on
yeah, yeah.
some Iraqis and stuff?
Yeah, I want to hear somebody,
Yeah,
y'all just busting
sure.
somebody's door and freeze and like just take them all out. Like I was watching the whole thing with
Yeah,
Osama bin Laden the other day on Netflix, and all the people they sent in and how long they've been trying to get that guy, and you know their whole platoon like just went to that 3-story house they was in, just sweeping the bottom floor, the second floor. They went up there and then they went to the third floor and got a man took the body.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you this one story. So we would they would drop these bomb lips out there that let them know, if you see us, surrender, no harm, we'll feed you, shelter you, clothe you, all of this. Well, they saw us coming, man, and at first all you could see was maybe like 15 or 20, and then before you know it, man, it's like 300-400 people out there with their clothes off, stripped down to
Uh-uh.
their drawers. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so let me tell you the reason why they did that.
Okay.
Our 50 cal, right?
Yeah.
You can't shoot at a person with your 50 cal, but you can shoot at equipment.
Mm-hmm.
Your uniform is equipped.
Wow.
So that gives you the right to shoot his ass in his uniform. So he come out of
Okay.
his uniform, so
So he
that's a
don't get shot.
citizen now.
He basically becomes
Yeah,
a
so they don't get
non-combatant.
mowed down.
Yep.
Because you talking
Wow.
about shot now, mowed down.
So, but
Yeah,
wait a
that 50
minute.
cal hit you in.
Rip you
What?
apart.
Okay, they take their clothes off, but what does that mean?
Okay,
Non-combatant. If you're not in the
non-combative. Yeah,
uniform, You're not a soldier.
Right.
We can't. It's like if we go into a town. If somebody's in uniform, we can shoot them, but we can't shoot civilians. That's a war crime.
yeah,
So they take off their
yes.
uniform now. They become basically civilians because we don't know who's who. So we can't shoot them.
Do
And
they have
that's what the
bombs?
problem was out there in Iraqi freedom. See, because you got
Hmm.
people in rags and stuff, and you don't know who's who because there's nobody in the uniform.
And
But
they
do they
all
have a
got
So
their
that's why,
weapons.
them soldiers were getting ambushed
Yeah.
so they have a
because it's
gun?
nothing to identify friend or foe.
You hear me?
What'd you say?
That's the facts of war, huh?
I said, did they have guns with no clothes on?
They threw the guns
Oh
to the
no, no,
side.
no! They dropped that.
That's
Say
also
they dropped that
equipment.
gun like a hot rock, baby. See, that was the first thing that Americans,
Mhm.
yeah, drop that,
But you know
man.
what
I
the
tell you,
thing
boy, we
is?
had like 400-500 people
uh,
lined up marching them until trucks came to pick them up.
uh,
Yeah.
what,
And you know when?
Yeah, they were surrendering by the droves.
Yeah. When Schwarzkopf, his strategy was for 30 days just bombing, 24/7 dropping bombs. And the Iraqis, they have a real big tank units, so they're mechanized infantry as well as a tank, the cavalry, the tanks. So those people are basically sitting in rolling coffins, and 30 days of 24/7 bombing, all you're hearing is bombs going off all around you, and it's rattling your brain inside of that little metal box. So at
Mm.
the end of it, they didn't want to fight anyway. All they wanted was to get the hell out and go on about their life.
And we were doing some of the slanging the bombs at them too.
Yep.
Shoot, them 105 Howard's HE rounds. Shoot,
Mm-hmm.
hey, look. In a unit, you got 8 guns in the unit, right? And we
Uh,
had 3 units, so that you got 24 guns in the unit. One gun will come through and mess up your whole block.
Yeah.
Now you got 24 of them shooting at something. What you think that's doing?
Yeah.
and the
And
city.
not to mention, you got the Navy sitting out in the Gulf. They're firing on them. Then you got the
Yeah.
Air Force flying
Yes,
over,
sir.
dropping bombs at the same time.
Flying
It was
overhead, tearing stuff up. Yep.
24/7. Nothing but bombing for
Yep.
30 days straight.
So
We didn't go in until after the
the
bombing stopped.
Navy, yeah, the Navy and the Air Force would cut it off, and then the infantry artillery would come through and shut it down.
With the walking, soldiers on the feet.
Yeah, no. We were in tanks.
Oh, tank. Okay. Okay.
Devaka was in like a 105 or something like that tank, and I was in a 109 howitzer. So we were the bag up to Devaka. Actually, my unit bagged up Devaka's unit.
Because he was in the Navy.
Mhm.
So now Devaka was in the army.
Oh, his son in the Navy. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when Devaka's unit, they saw stuff up in front, then they called, support from the artillery rounds.
Wow.
Yeah, because we would shoot rounds. We had rounds where we would it would be over a big course of a field, and then it would allow a whole battalion to ride in that area. And when you hit that one Pacific detonator, then it all goes up. And then you get all of them rabbits in one shot.
Yeah.
Huh?
Oh, we had some destruction out there, baby boy.
Yeah.
At 20 years old, this is what you're going through.
And that's what I was doing at 20 years old. PTSD. I got into it with my sergeants, and because I was the expert shot in my unit, they took my weapon away from me and made me pull guard duty at night.
Wow. But
look, hey, but you know what? Today I'm 100% permanent total with a special monthly compensation, and me and my family ain't got to worry about nothing.
And you ain't
as
got
long
to
as
work
I'm
another day in your
breathing,
life.
say we good. As long as I'm breathing, we good. So, at the time, no, it wasn't worth it. But right now, in this economy, man, I'm glad I did what I did, and we'll gladly do it again. Shoot, because if the outcome is the family I have, then I'll do it 1,000 times over.
Right.
And won't blink. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Man, my dad he was in the Marines. He got a Purple Heart in the Marines in the Vietnam War.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only award I didn't want to get. I never wanted one of those.
Why is that?
You got to get injured, shot, blown up, something. Only way you get it is you bleed in the battlefield.
Yep.
I didn't want it.
Yep.
So, what if you was like a chef and you cooked for the army and you cut your finger, cut up some potatoes? Technically,
they gonna take
in the combat zone
and get a band-aid.
Hey, if you in the combat zone now, it's a possibility, but usually it's supposed to be under enemy fire.
Yeah.
But hey, you could say, yo, we were taking enemy fire, artillery fire, and I cut my finger off. You got a Purple Heart.
Wow.
I still wouldn't want it.
Yeah, my dad, he's some metal stuck in his head. They had to get it out. I don't know if it was from one of those days, from one of those the booby traps or whatever. I don't know. I ain't get off into it with it.
Yeah, there's so
Yeah.
many ways that it can happen.
My old man, he
Could
was
happen.
Purple Heart too, but the Jeep that he was in rolled over a mine, and he went
Mm.
through the windshield.
Uh,
I heard about stuff
That's
like that.
probably what
And then
saved his life.
so he had to have one of his eyes, like the muscles and all that stuff,
Mm.
yeah.
fixed on. And then his leg, he got hit with mortar, shrapnel from a mortar.
Yeah.
And the army doctor wanted to cut it off, and the Navy doctor came and saved it.
Wow.
Damn.
But the army
Yeah.
doctor was a white doctor, and the Navy doctor was black.
Man,
Yeah.
don't tell me they was playing them kind of games and y'all fighting the same war.
Yeah, it ain't never stopped. It's still
Racism.
prevalent today.
Prejudice and racism is still rampant in the military.
Yeah.
Military.
It ain't ever gonna go away.
And I'm a living witness, because the 2 sergeants that I beat up is because I was all kind of niggas and boys. So if you see a nigga and a boy, then do something about it.
Oh, clear.
Like you beat him up.
And so the white boy felt like, okay, he gonna do something. He mushed me in my face. And I put them
No.
left rights on him so good. And then he said that I had butted him with my rifle, right? And then
Yeah.
one of them sergeants that was special forces and had switched MOSs and came over there, he said, no, sir.
Mhm.
If he'd have butted you with his rifle, you'd have had a gash. Your eyes
Yeah,
are
crack
so
your skull.
closed. That come from left rights.
Yeah. You crack his skull if you hit him with a rifle, but
Exactly. So they
Yeah.
said, no, he didn't do that. That came from left right. So, you know, in the end, I ended up becoming the hero behind that. I got my first sergeant and my captain relieved of duty
oh
during
man, good.
wartime for taking my weapon from me.
How
Mm.
many nights did you do with no weapon on guard duty?
I think I did like 5 nights, and then a black sergeant say, Blackwell, we ain't doing that no more. We didn't come out here
Wow.
for that. If they gonna kill somebody, they gonna kill somebody with a weapon.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So he
what was
put
the
me on
black?
game.
What
Huh?
was the black sergeant from the beginning?
Oh, well, okay. So when all of this happened, they took me off the gun line because I was an influencer. So they didn't want
Uh-huh.
nobody else to get no ideals. Oh, now all the niggas can just go beat up all the, you know.
Right,
Mhm.
right. They make an
So
example even in the service.
so
Yeah.
they moved me to different. They had me in supplies and in at the motor pool and the fire direction center. All of this, they just had me moving around, just helping whoever. You
Mhm.
know.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then
All
the first
kind of
sergeant
shit
say,
details. Yeah.
make him pull guard duty with no weapon.
Uh,
I guess that was to show
That
me,
didn't make
you
any
know.
sense. That
kill
Well,
didn't
they
your
make no
own.
showing me
sense.
how to get the money right now. That's what they showing me.
Mm.
Michael, Mike, what was special forces going to do? What was y'all job?
Ooh.
We were doing recon. I was
What is
going in, getting information, taking pictures. It's like we're going in, moving around amongst the enemy.
okay?
So we getting in close, taking pictures. We have snipers, just our team guys. So we
Uh,
get in and get out. Nobody's supposed to know we even there. But
So
we come
special
back with
forces go
intel.
in, Keith, special forces go in, they do recon, set shit up, right? Then the Marines come
Mm-hmm.
through, clear shit out, and then that's when
And
the
then the regular
army,
army comes.
yeah, then we come through and then get it in. But
oh,
that's the
so they make
Yeah,
it
so so
easy.
so what he did, he would come in,
easier.
it's like unregistered land, and they just go and figure it
Yeah.
out and then say, okay, this is what y'all need to do.
Oh,
You know,
It's
like
special thanks to special forces.
yeah, you know, like the land surveyors, like when you driving down the highway, you see these guys on the side of the road surveying, where they
yeah.
set up to start doing construction. In a
Yeah.
sense, that's what we did. We went and found the enemy, knew exactly where they were, and we came back and told them. We have
Uh,
pictures. If they were looking like they had the deck of cards, the guys, the high value targets. We were the
yeah.
ones who searched them out. Sometimes we were the ones to take them out.
And
So,
this is how we would have our jobs to do behind what they went and reconned and found.
man.
Yeah.
So
Oh
like a lot
man.
of times I call in artillery, like say we're out somewhere, nobody knows where the enemy is because they're all over the place. So we go
Yeah.
into an area, we're doing our recon, we find the unit, we know the size of the unit, what kind of vehicles they got, what kind of weapons, and everything. Then we call it back in. Sometimes we call in artillery strike on the unit, or we call in airstrike on it. Or it's
Mm.
just get in and get out without being seen. We go in, get the information, get pictures, go back and report. That information goes up the chain, and that's how they make their plans of what they're going to do. And sometimes, like we went in with the Kurds. Like uh, the Kurds were the ones that fought against. Well, the Kurds, it's like Kurdistan covers like three different countries. They're in Turkey, Iraq, and Jordan.
So
Yeah,
is
it's
that
just,
a special?
but they're like, hmm?
Is that another special force?
No, they're like the indigenous people of the area, but they're like nomads. So what the special forces actually do, they call them force multipliers. So what they do is they send a team in. We make friends with the locals.
I got
We
you.
do medical work on them, like doing their dental work, giving them shots, taking care of the ones that are sick, helping them
Yeah.
set up farming and irrigation systems, stuff like that. So basically, we're building rapport with those people, and then we teach those people how to be soldiers. So once we build that rapport, we take the men from that village, turn them into soldiers to fight alongside of us. So now you
Uh,
got 12 soldiers, but you might have 500 people that we just trained. So now you got a big fighting unit to go out and fight. So that's another
damn.
of the things that we do.
Have known that you can get the locals to fight your war and you American.
They do it all the time. They've
Boy,
been,
United States. Oh, boy, United States pimps. They've been
hey,
pimping
we've
our
been
ass
doing
for
that
long.
for years.
Yeah, they have funds set up to, spread out to, help people to get involved, to give us information that we don't have.
Hmm.
Wow.
And
Yeah,
now they have people in the military. It's like their only job is to fly drones
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
through to go and get all the
You
information.
know, they got a whole unit, a division of the special forces called PSYOPs, psychological operations. They do all those templates that he was talking about.
Mhm.
That's all they do: create templates and stuff and drop them from the sky. We're your friends. We're here to help you take over. And basically, you try to get the people to turn against their leaders. Like if they got dictated like Saddam Hussein, a lot of people didn't like him. A lot of the people that were educated. So
Right.
right after there's a storm, he was trying to kill off those people, the ones who were against him.
Yeah.
So now they had this thing called Provide Comfort, where they sent us back to get them out of, like they all ran to Turkey. So now you got all these people, they were actually homeless because everything that they had, Saddam had taken it from them. They had like units that were just assigned to kill the leaders that were in there. And they were all people, the majority were educated in America. So they were doctors, lawyers, architects, but they had a different type of knowledge than the regular citizens of Iraq. So now
Hmm.
these were the ones who stood up against Saddam Hussein, but he was
Yeah,
known for
the
killing the people,
Shiites.
the enemy. Right.
Uh-huh.
So he was known for killing those that stood against him. Now those that helped the Americans during the war, after we pulled out, he went after them. So now
Hmm.
that's when they went after them, we ended up going back, and they had this thing called Provide Comfort. That's when Michael Jackson and all the stars did this song about we are the world and all that.
Yeah.
So we were there to get these people back into their own country. So basically to feed them, set up a security zone, and get them back home. So that's the kind of stuff that we did. But because they helped us during the war, they were targeted after the war.
So I mean, there was
Yep.
also
Great.
other stuff back then, like when they send babies out there with bombs attached to them.
Mm-hmm. Hand grenade in the pepper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
A hand grenade in the pepper.
Baby,
When you
like,
pick up the baby, the pin flips and the baby explodes. Kills the baby and whoever's got it.
They were
What?
doing that in Vietnam.
Yeah, they did
My
that a
dad
lot
was
in
telling me
Vietnam.
that they were using the kids to lure the soldiers in, and then the kids would be the one to kill them.
yeah.
Right?
So then it got to a point to where when you saw a kid, that was instant death.
Yep.
Yep. Pop that
They
kid just like if he was a soldier.
And then
Good
so
job.
then this creates this PTSD that then you have to come home with and live with and act like this stuff never happened,
Right.
and then deal with society's BS, and
I'm gonna
it's
say
Mm-hmm.
kind of
well.
hard sometimes. Mm.
Did your unit have to kill
Huh?
some children? Did your unit kill children?
No. Now, if there were any children where our rounds went, if you was in our fire mission zone, yeah, you
Yeah,
got killed.
Right.
but they hit from a
So
distance. So they wouldn't even know if they
yeah,
hit any kids or not.
yeah. In the beginning, we didn't know what we were doing because our vehicle shot our rounds 25 miles in 8 seconds,
Wow.
and the majority of our targets were at least 10 miles away. So yeah, we shooting that shit not knowing what we finna hit, but we know we
Hey,
killing some shit because we got a fire mission.
Right.
yo, I did quite a few calls on the radio. Danger close. Calling in artillery fire or air fire. It
Yeah.
ain't no fun either. Cause you right
Yeah.
there with the enemy. Danger close, you within at least 500 feet of the enemy. So
So
when those
you
When
might.
them
bombs
rounds
land,
come in, it ain't no mercy for nobody.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody
If
and
if,
nothing.
if I call it in right, then the bombs land behind the enemy or more toward their side, not toward us. If I call it like say I get the coordinates wrong, if I'm off by a half a kilometer, that'll be raining down on us instead of on the enemy.
Yeah. So you got to be. You got to know your stuff.
Got to know your stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That happened to us. A unit called in their own coordinates on themselves, and
Mm-hmm.
we did the fire mission. Yeah,
Wow.
Lit
they
'em
gave
up.
us the wrong azimuth and deflection. That's your up
No.
and down and
Hey,
left and right. They
Yeah.
gave us
Your
the
latitude
wrong
and
shit,
longitude.
and we yep
You killed.
yeah.
landed right on
Yeah.
top of them.
Come on,
Friendly
Call of
fire.
Duty. What Call of Duty
I'm
got
saying,
it? He got it down.
I'm saying because I know I still got a couple of kids. I mean, but they was in the house. But these are video games. But yeah, like
Yeah.
I always enjoyed everything about like the military stories, like street wars, different things like that. But like, damn, a kid, like yeah, because the kid had a bomb on him.
Right.
So
Hey, all you need is to see that one time. You see your
yeah,
buddy get blown up once. The next kid
Yeah.
come walking to you, he ain't coming
Yep.
up to you.
yeah,
And
Right.
at that time, it's
Yeah.
called mind over matter. That's what they teach you, mind over matter.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
mind because he don't matter.
He don't
Yep.
matter. Killing everything.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeesh.
You know,
No remorse.
as a soldier, your mission in life is to come home. One
That's
of the
it.
best speeches I ever heard when I was in basic training, they marched us to the movie theater and we listened to the speech by General Patton, where he was giving a speech when the Allied forces went to Germany. And when he first started his speech, he said, "We are not here, or you are not here, to give your life for your country. For your country, you are here to give the enemy the best opportunity to give his life for his country.
That's right.
Wow.
So we're not there to
Yeah.
die for the country. We're there to kill the enemy.
Yeah.
Let them give their
Yes. How
life for
many
the
of us
country."
can we kill? How many of them can we
Yeah,
kill today?
that's
And
Yeah,
it.
and they
because we ain't gonna lay down and die.
but they
Yeah,
want us to be trained. They want us to be around here thinking, hey man, it's normal. But y'all done came home from a war and you want these people to be normal. How does that
he
work?
can't. He can't. It's not possible.
That's one thing
You
it always bothered me where, they have these
got
vets and they have like a lot of homeless vets. The ones that's
Hmm.
right.
out on the street or, you know, the one who took out Bin Laden. I mean, he opened up a weed shop back home in New York. And it's like, there's
Makes
no
it.
system or there's supposed to be a system in place, to take care of the vets and everybody that come home. But it's like some of
There
them
is, but
get
it
off
don't work.
PTSD and some of them get on
Well,
drugs or
well,
whatever their
well I'm,
vices.
I'm gonna
But
tell
I'm
you
like,
straight up, being 100% permanent and total, you have to take care of yourself. When you go to the VA, you got to tell them what it is that you want them to do. Don't let them tell you what they gonna do
Right.
to you,
yeah.
and that's
Uh,
straight up.
They
Because
yeah.
if
put you
not,
on medication.
I wouldn't be
Yeah.
able
Go
to
ahead.
be on this Zoom with you guys if I just did what the VA said, because I'd be, somewhere comatose right now.
Yeah,
Right.
walking around like a zombie.
Yeah.
Remember the show that we did about PTSD? When I
Yeah.
Yeah.
was telling you that stuff, like a lot of stuff that happens, you do stuff that your mind does not. You do stuff to survive, but your mind doesn't agree with everything that you're doing because deep down you know what you're doing is wrong. So now
Yeah,
you have to
Uh,
figure
exactly.
out a way to make it work. Because you got guilt, you feel shame. It's all kinds of things going on in your mind, and you got to make
yeah.
it work and still function as a human being. But the
And it's
drugs that
funny
they
Wow.
that you
give you
say
for
that, Michael.
PTSD, yeah,
It's funny
those
you say
drugs
that,
they turn
Michael,
you into a
because
zombie.
look, I was stationed in Germany, right? So
Hmm. Where?
leaving, I was in Hanau,
Okay,
Germany. It's like 20
I
miles
wasn't too
south of
far.
Frankfurt.
Yeah,
And
I
so
was in Wiesbaden.
so I get home. I get back to Germany, and then 13 days later, from leaving the war, my mom passed away. And so
Mm.
I got to thinking, was this God's way of paying me back for all them people I just killed?
Right. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and
That's
that
a thought.
that was the beginning of my PTSD. Like it was like I didn't really care anymore. Anybody
Right.
can get
Right.
it.
Damn.
I hear you. Yeah.
Yeah.
My
You
mama
would think
died behind this. Anybody can get it now.
Yeah.
of everything.
I mean, it ain't funny, but I know how you feel
No,
because
it's
you
definitely
get
not.
to
I
that
think
point, it don't nothing matters.
Mindset. Yeah, that's
I
the
think that's why I
mindset.
have 7 kids now, so that I can have
Yeah.
something to matter for.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Eh?
Something to live for besides yourself. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, me with nothing to matter equals destruction. Cause
Right. That's not just you. That's everybody.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's
Man,
where the biggest problem lies. Everybody trying to figure out how to keep moving. They're trying to figure out how to get through the day just to get to the next day and just start all over again.
yeah.
yeah,
Man.
It ain't easy, man. And the way
Yeah.
nah,
things are
I've
done in the
mastered my
military,
PTSD. I just
yeah,
stay out the
Huh?
way. I said I've
I,
mastered my
I,
PTSD.
Mastered it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I stay out the way.
Yeah.
I think
Hey,
I
boy,
am too.
God, unless it's something real fly, boy, you gotta. He stay in the house. We tell him to come. Hey, yeah, man. No, I'm gonna change my mind. I can't come out with that. I ain't coming. I be like, Black, well, you gotta get out the house. Yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right. No, I can't go to that function.
Hmm?
And
Mhm.
now I got I be understanding him lately, but at the beginning I was like, man, you gotta get out that damn house, dog. You gotta come on. No, boy,
Yeah.
man, I'm all right here.
Yeah,
But I
cause
understand it, man. Cause go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, with me, I'm a combat soldier. So my job in the military, it wasn't to help people. It wasn't to do nothing but kill you.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So when and then when you went and you did all of that, and then you come back and then you live in Oak Cliff, Texas,
Yeah.
you just don't want to go do certain things because then what's gonna happen is you're gonna flare up my
Know the outcome.
PTSD, and then ain't
Mm-hmm.
nobody gonna be able to save you.
Right.
And
Right.
then I'm on the run.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna let you do that, man. We ain't gonna let you
I
do
know how you feel with this. That's me. I quit going out. I say I go out now, but it's so seldom. And when I go to a cigar lounge. Nobody under 25 is even allowed in there. So
Right.
Yeah,
it's chill. You
yeah.
got older people and everybody just chilling, smoking, enjoying the music, having a good time. Cause the people like it's a disrespect. The people, the kids, the younger people, they so disrespectful. It's like, nah, I don't want to put myself in that situation. Cause I know how I am. Say the wrong thing, and most of the time I'd be like, yeah, all right, and just walk around, walk away. But all it takes is one time when I got
Yeah.
something going through my mind that's sort of messing with me, and somebody say the exact same thing that somebody been saying all week, and all of a sudden I snap. I'm like, no, I just stay to
So
myself and
I
chill.
wondered if y'all done served in the military, right? And you get into it with somebody, don't they have leniency on
Nope.
your
Well, see,
PTSD?
that's a because see, when you've done what he did, what Mike has done, and what I've done, because we're combat soldiers, so
Right.
there's no excuse for what it's just like you a cop. You train
Right.
and then you shoot somebody in the leg when they train you to shoot center mass. You got
Right.
a lawsuit on you now. So there
Mm-hmm.
really ain't no leniency for us other than if you PTSD and it's noted, then now you
Right.
could
Yeah.
probably fall back on that. But other than that, no,
And then
because
they're
they
gonna
would say
put you in the
you
hospital.
know better,
Right.
Right.
you know
They'll
better,
put
you
you in
should
the
be
hospital.
disciplined. Yeah. So
I had
Because
a
yeah,
judge tell me that once. I
yeah.
put two
huh?
cops in the hospital, and they told me, "Well, with your military background and your fighting history, you shouldn't be fighting anybody." I just told them, "Yeah, they shouldn't be putting their hands on me." To me, it was
Uh,
just that simple. But
Just that
I did
simple.
2 years, 1 month, and 4 days in a German prison, and then they took
yeah.
me from the prison to the airport to JFK. Then I was released.
Uh.
Wow.
Oh, so you messed them up over there.
Yeah, those two German cops.
Yeah.
I didn't know
Oh,
they were cops. They had to come up with a whole story for it
well,
to stick.
come on, Tupac and Snoop Dogg. Hey, man, I ain't know he was a
Mm.
police. We better wear a badge or something, man. I
Hey,
don't know. I'm
it
telling
was
Right.
in civilian clothes in a club drinking, and then he wanted to try to talk shit. But I speak fluent German, and they thought I was African, didn't speak the language. And when I
you. Yeah.
responded, then the dude grabbed me. I just pushed my way by. When he grabbed my shoulder, that was the last thing he saw. Cause when he jerked
Uh,
me back, I turned right into him. I dropped him, and both of them only one punch. One I broke his nose, the other one I broke his jaw. Both laying on the ground. And I went and went to the bouncer, told him what happened.
Steven Seagal around here.
Mm,
Oh
Yeah.
man, story, boy,
Oh
he
boy.
was
yeah.
real.
And
Boy,
I
this
have
is
some
real.
Germany stories too, boy. Goshly.
Shoot. But I was stationed in Germany 3 times. I was at
What you
Wiesbaden Air Base. Hmm?
what Blackwell
I was
had to
at
do? What Germany?
Will you say what now?
I said, what'd you do in Germany?
Okay. Well, see, and Michael, he'll vouch for it. See, in Germany, it's a tour and not a duty. See, because in Germany you can only live fire in one place. So, you know, we were 300-400 miles away from Grafenwöhr. So, being stationed in Germany and in artillery, it was travel time, baby.
A lot of it
You
too.
know, your boy here went and
A
did it
lot of
all, baby. Pick a spot. I
Yeah.
done been there. Yeah.
it, man.
You
Yes,
say
sir. Traveling
you
my young butt off. Let me tell you.
yeah.
I had a partner
Man.
from Cali, and me and him, boy, we go everywhere. We hit up
I
all
get
the Hitler concentration camps,
Mm.
Barcelona and
Knockout and all of that. Right?
France, Italy,
wow.
everywhere. Rock of Gibraltar, we
That's it.
everywhere. We was
Eight,
everywhere.
8 hour
You
drive,
know,
and you can be in so many different countries.
Real
yeah,
quick.
yeah. And then we went to Amsterdam twice.
I know
Man.
you did. I know you've been
You
over there
know.
twice.
Yeah, I did. The first time we went, it was with the group, and then the second
Oh,
Hmm.
time we went on our own to the Oktoberfest, and that was right before us going
Oh,
to Desert Shield, Desert Storm.
Did you
you
enjoy the
in
oh,
Munich
music?
during that time?
Huh?
So you went to Munich then for the Oktoberfest?
Oh, oh yeah, we were
Shit.
in Amsterdam for Oktoberfest.
Okay, so y'all did the one there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
I
in,
was
in
at the
Amsterdam,
original.
that Amsterdam is the only place in Europe where you can legally smoke weed.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
yeah.
Anywhere
Right.
else in Europe, if you're caught smoking weed, that will get you a life sentence somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh,
So what they smoke in Europe is hashish,
Yeah.
okay.
They smoke a lot of it.
a lot of it,
But you can barely get weed over there. You can get hash like nothing. But
like
weed?
nothing. But
Amsterdam on it.
My, yo,
Amsterdam
my
is where you
first
go.
can you
Hmm.
imagine when I first got to Germany? I was 19. I got there, but my unit, they sent me to a mechanized infantry unit. My unit was in the field training in bomb holder. When
Say
they
same
came back,
here.
yeah, I met my first sergeant. I had to wait. So a bunch of the brothers, they came like, yo, you knew? I'm standing around in my class A's. They're like, yo, come over there. It's going to be a while before you see the first sergeant. I'm upstairs in their room smoking hash. Then I got to go downstairs to meet the first sergeant and the commander. I was high as fuck. Excuse my language, but man, I was so high. I'm like, I'm gonna be in so much trouble. But then I go
Yeah.
down to meet the first sergeant. The first sergeant was a German. He was born in Germany, and he reached in his refrigerator like a little small refrigerator behind his desk, pulled out my first German beer, Löwenbräu, popped it open. Here, welcome to Germany. I sat there with him drinking beer. Then went to see the commander. I was so high by the time I saw the commander, and come to find out later, the commander was the hot. Our company clerk was selling all kinds of hash. He was selling so much drugs in the company, but he was backed by the commander. They
I was
had a
Hey,
drug.
CID raid
man.
like I think for like 6 or 7 months after I was there. We got a new battalion commander, and they sent the guy in for CID. And I figured something was wrong because he was asking too many questions. So I was like, I don't want to do nothing around this dude.
Yeah.
One day
Damn.
they had us all march out like they called an alert. We marched outside. The commander, our company commander, said, "Take off your hat, put everything in your hat, in your pockets, put everything in your hat," and then he marched us around the corner. Then the MPs came through with the dogs. But the guy
Oh,
there, they was like, yo, anytime you got something, keep it on you. And if somebody got you, take it out your pocket, then you just throw it. Like, get off of me and just fling it.
yeah.
So I put the stuff in my pocket, put everything else in my hat. He moved us around the corner. When they took that, everybody got away clean. But 2 days later, the company commander was gone. Company clerk was gone. First sergeant was gone. First sergeant, they kicked him out for being. He got in a wreck on his motorcycle, driving drunk with the woman that wasn't his wife. So the new battalion commander kicked him out. The company commander got put in jail. The clerk got put in jail,
Yeah.
and everything started new. But the commander we had
Michael, you got
before,
some.
yo, those guys were from Vietnam. They were different. They were
They
straight
different.
different. 'Cause they didn't give a shit. Our commander told us if we went downtown and there was a fight, somebody from our unit got beat up, came back, and none of us helped, we were all getting Article 15s.
Right.
Man, we used to tear up the club downtown. And there was another infantry unit on the base with us. They were our biggest fight. We fought all the time and
You
never
ain't
got in
got
trouble for it. Never got in trouble.
it.
And Michael, you know what? I was 19 years old when I got to Germany, and when I got there, my unit was out in the fields. So I was there for 2 weeks, sitting there twiddling my thumb. Well, we went through
Hmm.
that Head Start where you learn
Yeah,
the
head
German
start.
language and
Yeah.
and then my platoon sergeant took us to Frankfurt and took me and the dude I told you that he was from Cali. We got there together,
Hmm.
and so he took us to Frankfurt and took us to the red light district and bought us some. Say, look here, this if you want some, this way you come get it.
And
You
it's so
know,
clean.
Hmm. Ain't it
yeah.
though? And you got your choice of which one you want.
Right.
Hey,
I used to walk all through the place, all from the bottom to the top,
But I'm saying
and
like
pick out which
y'all can
one I
have like
want back
glass
down.
doors, and
hey,
it's like they're
hey! In
literally just
Germany,
sitting.
you can
Hmm.
They look like
say,
mannequins, and it's like
"Hey,
just
man, what you
beautiful women.
doing? I'm gonna go get me a 6 pack or something and go home." You can do that in Germany for real.
Yup.
They standing like
Huh?
Huh?
Yeah.
you. They like mannequins.
No, I'm saying like they have
No,
like
man.
No,
Okay, so
they
just
be
look,
like
look.
sitting there in the
In the
window
red
yeah,
light
just sit
district,
there like they want you. Like they
in
just
the
sit in the
red
window
light
like
in
district,
you have
lingerie.
everything. Just take your pick.
they have hotels, right? And in these
Hmm.
hotels, you got different races on the red light district in
Hmm.
Frankfurt. So in different hotels, there's different races, and then you got some where it's a mixture. Where you go up on one floor, it might be Africans, and you go up on the next floor, it might be Asians, and you go up on the next floor, it's Europeans, and
Because I love
like
child
that.
women. You heard me?
Yep.
Yeah,
My
Huh?
weakness was always child
and
women. Women
and
inside
it's
my
just
life.
it's like window shopping, and you walk around until you find what you want to shop
Yeah.
for,
That's
what you
it.
want to buy.
Man, I was
Say
scared of Thai women.
Well, well, I know why, but
When I went to Thailand, I wouldn't mess with no Thai women. Nope.
oh no,
like
but it's like
Hey,
our
they used to
yeah.
tell us the prettiest. They
huh?
said in Thailand the prettiest women were the men.
Oh yeah, some of them out there.
I wasn't taking no chances.
But it's like the person that took us on our tour, like he talked like, no, that's a lady boy. I'm like, really? But it's like, but
Right.
Mm-hmm.
like women, oh yeah. But it's like it's just something about Thai women. I'm like, bruh, them Vietnamese, Venezuelan, like,
Mm-hmm.
So hey, one of the Tracy said, "Do y'all remember the Plantation Club?"
Oh
Where?
yeah, the
Where's the plantation
plantation.
at?
That was in here now. Hell yeah, I remember the
Okay.
plantation. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, we get it in at the plantation. That's where I processed into Germany at the plantation.
okay.
At the
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
plantation.
yeah. At that base where the plantation club was at. Yeah,
Nice.
Tracy. Yeah, you got it. You got it.
That was the spot, y'all. That was the
That was
spot.
the spot. That was the
Mm.
spot. Yeah, yeah.
Man,
Yeah, man.
German men love.
Those were some good days.
Damn, I ain't
Uh,
heard that in a long time. The plantation.
yeah, this has been
Yeah,
very
man.
interesting. Appreciate y'all, man. This was the business, man. I just wanted
Yeah.
to get stories going, man, because there's been some stuff out there we need to talk about, man.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Straight.
Yeah,
man.
this is true. Hey, before we go out, there's one thing I want to read to y'all. And this is
Okay.
about what a veteran is.
All right.
And this is it says a veteran is someone who at one point in their life wrote a blank check made payable to the United States of America for an amount up to and including their life. And that's
Mm.
anonymous. But
Uh.
this tells
And
you
I
about
received
what
that.
a veteran,
'Cause
what they
I
really are.
salute you for that. Because that's what
Yeah.
we are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've all
It is.
done it.
Blank check.
Hmm.
Make it funny. You got something? You got something for us?
Man, once again,
Yeah.
thank you all for your services. The only time I've ever been on here where I've been
Oh,
speechless because
let
you
me
had,
grab my pen real quick. What you got?
huh?
Yeah.
Let me grab my pen. What you got? I know it's
Oh,
something
nah, I'm
deep.
just gonna. Nah, I just said thanks again for you guys' services. This is like one episode where it's like I literally had nothing to say because it's like it's the veterans. I mean, street wars is
Yeah.
one thing, but y'all going out there fighting the world.
For
We
real.
fighting people up the block. But yeah, appreciate you guys once again.
All right.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
That was deep right there, man. I appreciate you, Blackwell. Mike, I appreciate y'all for service. Tracy, thank you for your services. Yeah, man.
My
We gonna
Yeah.
do
pleasure.
it again,
My pleasure. And I
man.
gladly do it again for everybody. And once again, appreciate you.
For real. Hey,
We
it
Yeah.
was my pleasure. I enjoyed my time, man.
Oh
Hey, like
yeah.
they say, I took an oath to defend the country from all enemies, foreign and domestic. And I ain't been relieved of that oath yet.
There
And,
it
and
Uh,
I'm still on it. Foreign and domestic, huh?
that's it.
is.
Once a soldier, always one.
Always a soldier.
What they
Yes,
say, what
sir.
y'all say? Ha. Yahoo, what y'all be saying?
Hoorah!
Hoorah,
Hoorah!
Hoo-yah!
hoorah,
Hoorah!
hoorah. What I'm trying to say.
You know.
All right,
That's it.
y'all. Peace.
Peace.
Have a good one, fellas. Peace.
Y'all too,
This was
man.
a